Are you planning to take a trip to Italy and you want to know how restaurants work in Italy? Well, stay tuned, because today we're going to tell you all you need to know about Italian restaurants.
Stay tuned.
Hi everyone, I'm Rick.
And I'm Andrea. And today we will tell you all you need to know about Italian restaurants. But first, if you like travel-related videos like this one, now is a great time to hit the subscribe button down below, so you'll never miss any future videos.
Or us.
Or us, exactly. So let's begin with the different types of restaurants that are in Italy.
Yes, there are types of restaurants.
Absolutely. In Italy, you can see all these different signs for restaurant that say trattoria, osteria, pizzeria, ristorante, tavola calda. What are those? Let's try to simplify for you. First, all they are restaurant and they all serve food.
And they're all probably going to be delicious.
All, most likely.
Yeah.
So, what is a trattoria? A trattoria generally means a more rustic establishment that serves local food. It is the type of restaurant that you want to try if you are looking for a true, authentic meal in a city. Most of the time, it is a family-owned and run restaurant. Generally, they have a very casual setting. Most of the time, the menu is not even written, but the waiter tells you what is available that particular night. Sometimes they serve food family style. They tend to be very affordable. In our opinion, these are the best places to eat like a local.
Totally agree.
And now we osteria. Back in the days, the osteria was the same as a trattoria, but it was more a place to go for drinking than eating. Nowadays, the two names are kind of interchangeable.
They just kept the name from the past.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Lastly, sometimes you see osteria spelled with an H at the beginning. It's just a different spelling, nothing different in the food.
It's just there to confuse you.
Pretty much.
All right, next up we have the ristorante, or the restaurant in Italian. So, ristorantes are restaurants in the true meaning of the word. They usually have the nice white linen tablecloths and napkins and the proper menus, a wine list and wine glasses, and the food is really well presented, and they can also be Michelin restaurants with up to 3 Michelin stars. They're a place you would take a date or for a nice evening. But as you guessed it, they're also more expensive than the previous ones. Now, next we have the pizzeria, and as you can guess from the name, well, these restaurants are specialized in pizza. Sometimes they only serve pizza, and other times they serve other dishes. In this case, they're called pizzeria ristorante. And these type of restaurants also tend to be casual and not very expensive. Now, another type of restaurant that I've never heard of until today was called tavola calda. And these are not really restaurants, but they're actually coffee shops that also serve hot dishes. And they're usually used by people that cannot go home during their lunch break to eat lunch. Now, just be careful. In most tourist areas, these type of coffee shops have become very popular, and they seem to serve an incredible variety of dishes. Unfortunately, most of the times, these are going to be frozen dishes that are warmed up in the microwave. Not Italian at all. And lastly, there's also another popular category in rural areas, and these are called agriturismo. Agriturismo are usually farms that serve food that they produce, either totally or in part. And they usually have a set menu for a set price. And food is always presented in family style. They tend to be quite rustic, but they're also beautiful in the countryside.
Let's move on our next topic, the typical Italian meal. A typical Italian meal has 4 courses. Yes, you heard right, 4 courses. Nowadays, most people do not eat 4 courses, but they only eat 1 or 2. But if you're going to any type of Italian restaurant, you will be presented with the typical 4 courses sequence. These are the antipasto, and these are the appetizer. Now, we know that in North America it's called antipasti. That is the plural of antipasto. So be careful in Italy, because if you order antipasti, you'll receive more than one.
Yeah, well, maybe the waiter will check
Ask
with you
you,
first. Exactly.
And then you have the primo. This is the pasta dish. It is always served before the main course. Pasta in Italy is always served on its own. No bread or garlic bread that doesn't even exist here. No salad, nothing. Just the pasta. Bread is always on the table when you sit down, and it's included in the price.
So basically, if you want a primo, you get a pasta. So they should just call it a primo and not pasta.
Oh.
Okay, so next we have the secondo, and this is your main dish, or usually meat or fish, or gnocco fritto. And it's usually served after the pasta. And usually it doesn't come with any side dishes. So if you want a side dish, you'll have to ask for a contorno, which is usually either vegetables, potatoes, or a salad. And then you also have the dolce, and this is the dessert course. Nothing unusual about it, the dessert comes at the end. Now, as we explained to you at the beginning, you don't have to have all four, because these portions are usually pretty big. You can have an antipasto and a primo, or a primo and a secondo, or any combination you like. But there is one thing that is important to know. The plates are served in order. So if you want an antipasto and a secondo, and somebody else at the table orders an antipasto and a primo, try and let the waiter know that you want your secondo at the same time as the primo. Otherwise, you're going to have to wait and watch the other person eat the pasta, before getting your dish. Now, there's no guarantee that that this is going to happen. I mean, just think, the salad is usually the contorno, which comes around the secondo dish. And if you ask for a salad as your antipasto, you might have everybody waiting for you to finish your salad first. Totally strange. True story. It's happened.
Let's talk about our next topic, the drinks. When you sit at any Italian restaurant, the first thing that you get asked, what kind of water do you want? They usually ask gasata or naturale. That means, do you want sparkling or still water? Water in Italy comes from a bottle. For some strange reason, Italians do not drink water from the tap.
No. We do.
We do. Secondly, water in Italy does not come with ice or lemon.
No.
If you want ice or lemon, you have to ask for it very nicely. In the trattorias and osterias, you can order the vino della casa, the ice wine, by quarter, half, or 1 liter size. In restaurants, usually it's a bottle or by the glass.
I like the 1 liter format.
The 1 liter format is very typical. Italians do not drink cocktails or Aperol spritz with their meals.
No, never.
Ever. Also, Italians don't often drink sodas with their meals, very rarely. The only exception is with pizza, even though most Italians drink beer with pizza, not sodas.
Yeah, I prefer white wine, though.
Typical is beer, though.
Yeah.
One thing that has become very, very popular in the past 10 years or so is the apericena. This is served in bars and some restaurants. Basically, you buy drinks and some finger food comes complimentary. Sometimes it can be as wide as a full buffet of food. Other times it's just pizza and sandwiches. But it's very common, especially with younger people.
Yeah, it's like the aperitivo mixed with the cena. It's like the,
Apericena.
Yeah. So now let's talk about the last topic about restaurants in Italy, and this is called il conto. And the bill, or il conto, is very simple. First and foremost, it includes the service. So tipping is not required. However, sometimes if the waiter did a spectacular job, there's nothing wrong with leaving a few euros, even €5 in a trattoria or a restaurant for the waiter. But it's not very common. They really have to go out of their way. Now, one thing that is completely different from North America is splitting the bill. You will never see separate bills in Italy because they don't exist. Don't even bother asking. So if you're a group of 6 and you're wondering who ordered the Coca-Cola or who ordered a beer or who had a glass of water, the bill is going to be split among the 6 people. Get over it. Also, in some restaurants, you might see an item on the menu that you don't recognize, and it's called the il coperto, and this is the service. But It's becoming more and more unusual. It's like an old thing. Nowadays, service is just built in, and it's usually just a couple of euros. Lastly, it's common in restaurants to offer a little digestif at the end of a meal. Usually it's a glass of limoncello or a grappa or some local liquor. Now, keep in mind, this is a single glass that's complimentary. It doesn't mean you get to drink the entire bottle. Well, maybe if they put the whole bottle on the table, that's a different story.
If you want more than one glass, you just ask, but most likely you have to pay for it. Now, we hope that this video made it simple for you to understand Italian restaurant. As usual, if you have any question, please leave a comment down below. We love to read your comments and answer. In the meantime, we'll see you on our next videos.
Bye.
Bye guys. Ciao.